What up YouTube, this is Dragon Master Knight of the Legion Duelists here with a special video for you. As we all know, Nats is over now, and September is fast approaching, and with it, a new ban list and a new format. Now there are some cards that have been on the hot seat for getting banned, some cards that may not be, but may have a chance. So anyway, I'm going to go through some cards that I think may have potential to move around on the list, or show up on the list. Anyway, first off, this guy, Giant Trunade. They took away our Heavy Storm, they took away our Cold Wave, and now they're thinking about taking away our Trunade. Giant Trunade wins games. This is an OTK causing card, and from what I hear, Konami is trying to get rid of OTKs. Now while you can't get rid of OTKs altogether, you can get rid of cards that cause them, like Trunade. So, with Trunade, we may be asking, how are we supposed to defend against backfield? I mean, we can't all just start main decking Dust Tornadoes, that'd be crazy. So, there is a possibility we might get this back. It's a very slim possibility, but it's there. Giant Trunade, in my opinion, is better than Heavy Storm. Heavy Storm destroys, Trunade doesn't. Heavy Storm, since it destroys, you have all kinds of chances to block it with things like Stardust Dragon or Starlight Road. If we get this back, people may start running Starlight Road again. Also, Storm destroys your stuff, Trunade doesn't. You can just set all the stuff that you popped back to your hand with Trunade, while Storm gets rid of everything. Not really that high of a cost, but that is one reason that Trunade is better. And so it may be an even trade-off, though I doubt they will give us back our Heavy Storm. A much likelier scenario is this, third MST. With MST at 3, that's kind of an even trade-off. We get more backfield hate. We'll still be able to pick off those backfield cards, but no OTKs. So that's a possibility. Another card that may end up being banned, Mind Control. Mind Control is amazing because it allows you to take face-down cards. Also, the fact that you can't attack or tribute the thing doesn't really matter because nowadays, what do you do with Mind Control? Use it to synchro with. Or now that the Exceeds are out, you can use it to Exceed summon. And while Mind Control may be hitting the list, something we may end up getting back, Brain Control. Brain Control got banned a while ago. But if you actually look at them side by side, Mind Control is actually kind of better. Brain Control does have a cost, and while that's not really that high, it's still a cost. Also, Brain Control's big thing, it can't target face downs. It's still pretty much the same thing, since nobody attacks with the stuff they Mind Control anyway. They're just going to synchro or exceed with it. But Brain Control won't let you target those face downs, which means you won't be able to cause OTKs quite as easily. So we may end up getting Brain Control back in exchange for Mind Control. Just a thought. Another card that may have a chance to see the list, Monster Reborn. Reborn was banned for a long time, and then it got limited, and then banned again, and then limited and banned again, and now it's limited again. Monster Reborn and Call of the Haunted are both legal for the first time in what seems like forever. And Monster Reborn, in my opinion, is the single most broken special summoning card in the game. Simply because it is so versatile, and it allows you to take your opponent's things, which is something that cards such as Call of the Haunted can't do. And Monster Reborn, in my opinion, actually does need to be banned, but as long as it's legal, I'm gonna play it, because it's that good. Monster Reborn and Dark Hole both came back. They were both things that I didn't see ever coming back. Dark Hole hasn't really caused that much of a problem, but Reborn is still an awesome card, and there's a chance it may end up getting hit by the list. Next up, Pots. Pot of Duality, Pot of Avarice. Pot of Avarice has been limited before. It's at 3 now, but considering that Plant Synchro, or Tengu decks in general, have such an easy time with Pot of Avarice lets you recycle those Tengus, it may be a chance that we may see Pot of Avarice get semi'd. There's a slim chance it may end up getting limited again, but I highly doubt that. If anything, they'll semi it. Duality. Pot of Duality is balanced. It's a very balanced card. However, if you didn't know, I'm going to go ahead and spoil the surprise. Pot of Duality's coming out in a 10. It's going to be like a $5 card. Yeah, that's right. The Great Pot of Duality has finally gone down. However, because of this, Pot of Duality will be accessible to everyone, not just the people that can afford them. And because of that, Pot of Duality may see a semi-limit simply because it's so popular in so many decks, and now everybody's going to be able to run 3 copies if they want to. Another card that has been causing quite a lot of trouble this format, Reborn Tengu. I think fellow Yugi tuber Capital G had it right when he said Reborn Tengu is the shiznit. Now, Reborn Tengu is the cause of many of the top decks. For example, TGs and plants. TG1 Nats, Plant Tengu is everywhere. The deck's even called Tengu Synchro. Now, Reborn Tengu is TCG exclusive. The Japanese don't have it. And we've never seen, ever since the merger between the OCG and TCG lists, we have never seen an instance where a TCG exclusive card was on the list. It's never happened. However, Tengu has caused so much trouble in this format, he's been such an impact card, there may be that first exception where we see Tengu get semi'd. I mean, it would seriously hamper his usefulness if he was semi'd. He'd still be useful, just not quite as useful. Kind of like semi'ing Malicious. And I don't really think it's going to happen, but there is always that chance. Now, talking about Tengu Synchro, if the list decides we're not going to semi-Tengu because he's TCG exclusive, they can hurt the top Tengu Synchro deck in other ways. For example, Debris Dragon. Debris Dragon was semi'd a while ago. He's still a key player in the deck, and limiting him would seriously hamper the deck. Same thing with Lone Fire Blossom, who is also semi'd, and may have a chance to go down to 1. Lone Fire Blossom is a key player because it allows you to get to those spores, get to that Dandy, if you're Trey Massingale, get to that Titanial, and because you can run through one Lone Fire, pull out another one, tribute that one, that gives you more stuff in your deck, or in your graveyard, for you to Pot of Avarice. Another big card that everybody's using nowadays is Raikou. Raikou's showing up everywhere. He's so great because he's versatile. He can just pop whatever you want. And he mills stuff to the grave, which nowadays is a good thing. You want stuff in the grave. Anyway, I think Raikou may have a chance to get limited for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is because everybody's using him and he's such a good card. But also because of this card, Charge of the Light Brigade. This card got limited quite some time ago, back when Lightsworn was one of the kings. Limiting Charge seriously hampered the Lightsworn deck, and it's pretty much never been the same. That, and Necrogarden, and Lumina, and a couple other cards. But if we limit this guy, there's no reason for this card to be limited anymore. If this card's limited, this can go back to 3. Because who's going to run 3 Charge of the Light Brigades in a deck where you can only have 1 Raikou? Raikou using decks such as zombies or plants will probably just use their 1 Raikou and not even use a Charge of the Light Brigade. And having 3 charges means that the old school Lightsworn deck can actually, start coming back. They won't be quite as broken as they were before because they still don't have 3 Luminas and 3 Necrogardenas and they've only got the 2 JDs. But the deck will have a chance to reborn itself. Just a thought. May not happen, it's just a thought. Another card, Ultimate Offering. This card was actually limited for a while, and I think it was almost banned at one point in time. But now it's back to 3. Anyway, if you didn't know, Gadget Exceed is big. Gadgets pull themselves to their hands, and with Ultimate Offering, you can keep summoning gadgets, keep pulling more gadgets, and make Utopias, and other mean 4-star Exceeds that are going to be coming out in Generation Force in the next couple packs. And with Ultimate Offering at 3, it makes it very easy to create an OTK deck like that. Now, I'm fairly certain Ultimate Offering won't be hit by this list, simply because the Exceeds are incredibly new, they haven't really had a chance to impact the format yet, and the list isn't really preventative. It kind of takes care of problems after they've arisen instead of trying to prevent them before. But there's always a chance that this guy might be semi. Maybe even limited in the future. Another card, Skill Drain. Skill Drain made a huge format back when Plant Drain was still around. And it got brought to 2, then they brought it back to 3. So with our 3 skill drains, it really hasn't made that much of an impact until recently. If you didn't know, the winner of Nationals ran a TG deck, and one of the big techs that he had was 3 skill drains. TGs don't really need to be on the field. They're kind of like the old school plant drain where they can just get around skill drain and it doesn't really harm them, but it harms their opponent. And the guy who ended up winning Nats, he main decked 3 skill drains and it really helped him when he was in his final duels. And there may be a chance that we'll see skill drain back to 2 again. I don't know. Here's one card that's pretty much definitely getting limited. Trishula. Trishula is limited in Japan. He hasn't come out soon enough for him to be limited here. However, because he's limited over there, it's almost 100% sure that he's going to get limited here. And now for another one, Brio, Trishula's little brother. Brio has a chance of getting banned. I've been hearing this all over Nats. People talking about Brio getting banned. I don't want that to happen. I mean, I can understand why it would happen. He's really great for causing OTKs. He just gets rid of your problems, and in Fabled, he's awesome. However, if Brio gets banned, then what are we left for 6 stars? We have Gaianite, we have Flamville Uruquizas, and we got Iron Chain. That's pretty much it. That's horrible. They've already banned Yo-Yo. I really don't want to lose Brio, but there's always that chance. Now, we've talked about cards that may be going away. Here's some cards that may come back. Malicious. The old Destiny engine is dead and gone. It's deader than dead. Nobody uses it anymore. Malicious is awesome at 3. If he's semied, you pretty much kill his usefulness. Now that the old school dad deck and the other big dark beater decks are kind of gone, it would be kind of interesting to see Destiny Hero Malicious go back to 3. See what kind of shenanigans we can mess around with, and see if those old school shenanigans will match up to today's shenanigans that are even faster. It'd be interesting to see. Another card that, this is kind of far-fetched here, this card may have a chance to come off of the banned list. I'd say out of all the cards that are on the banned list, this one would cause the least impact if it showed up. Magician of Faith is slow. It has to be flipped. And cards that are slow like that, I mean, yeah, it does recycle stuff, but it's not amazing. It would help a lot of decks, but in a lot of decks it would just be too slow. I think Magician of Faith, if it did come back, it wouldn't have that big of an impact on the whole format. Kind of like when Chaos Sorcerer was banned. They brought it back, it didn't really do much. Now it's at 3. It's still not really doing that much. I mean, it's a good card, but it's not doing too much. Same thing for Magician of Faith. I think it may have a chance to come back. Not a good chance, but a chance nonetheless. So anyway, that's what I personally think about the ban list and what may be on it, what may not be on it. And so if you have any comments or ideas of your own, feel free to post them in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe. We got lots of deck list videos coming up from Nats. And this is Dragon Master Knight signing out.